Guys, Judge Vanderbeek Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1030, Armstrong case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mrs. Armstrong.
Yes, Ms. Judge.
Okay, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Miss Tally over here, we decided to have a baby together about 3 years ago, and we got a divorce, and now I just need her to pay some child support.
Okay. Well, you guys are going through a divorce, right?
Well, yes, sorry, we're going through a divorce. I wish it was over already, but I've been paying health care for a long time, ever since the baby was born.
How much is the health care?
It's $111 a month.
Okay.
This baby is 2 years old. We've been together for about 3 years, and I just, that's a lot of money.
All right, everyone, let's get into another compelling child support case. Today, we have Mrs. Armstrong, who is seeking financial support from her ex-partner, Miss Tally, for their 2-year-old son, Alex. Mrs. Armstrong has been handling his health insurance and believes Miss Tally should share the financial load. But Miss Tally sees things differently. She's not just focused on money. She wants more time with their son, not just financial obligations. The judge carefully weighs both sides, recognizing the delicate balance between financial duty and parenting rights. With emotions running high, this case is shaping up to be a thoughtful yet intense discussion. Let's see how it all plays out.
That money?
No, ma'am. Instead, I want to spend time with this child. She's not allowing me to see my son, Alex, for the last year and a half.
Okay.
I mean, I have an amazing 2-year-old son that I'm being denied access to see. And I do not believe that I should be paying child support. Rather than I should be able to spend time with my son and actively be in his life.
Okay. Is there a reason you have not been allowing her to see Alex?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, Judge, I feel like time is not money. And,
Well, stop. Hold on. It's not money. But you would agree with me that she is the mother, right?
Yes.
Okay. And would you want for her to deny you access to Alex?
Well, it would be
It's
different.
a yes or no?
No.
Okay, then. So, you do not have a reason to not allow her to see her son.
But she doesn't help me take care of my son.
Now, financially, we'll get to that in a moment. She's not going to have a choice if the child is living with you primarily. Is that what's
Correct.
going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how often do you allow her to see him at all?
No.
Okay. Now that's going to change today. You do not have any authority to do that. You do not have it both ways. You can't say, I want her to pay this money, but at the same time, I don't want her to see our son. It doesn't work like that.
Well, once she starts paying me some money, then she can also start seeing the son.
Well, they don't go together.
Okay.
But the possession to a child has nothing to do with paying child support. You do not decide that. You understand? Okay, because in a different court, you could actually be held in contempt for that if you all had a court order and you were denying her access to your son.
Mrs. Armstrong steps up to make her case. She's been the primary caregiver for little Alex, covering his $111 monthly health insurance on her own. Frustrated by Miss Tally's lack of financial support, she's pushing for child support payments to even the load. But there's a twist. Mrs. Armstrong admits she's been keeping Miss Tally from seeing their son for the past year and a half. That revelation doesn't sit well with the judge, who quickly picks up on the tension between money matters and fair co-parenting. With concerns rising about Mrs. Armstrong's priorities, the courtroom mood shifts. Now it's Miss Tally's turn to speak, ready to set the record straight. Buckle up. This case is heating up.
You have to pay child support as well.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you do not have any objection to paying
No,
child
ma'am.
support. Okay, so you heard that, right? Okay, all right. So it seems like money is what's important to you, not necessarily her having a relationship with the child. That's right?
Yes.
And that's sad. And it's very sad that you admitted it. Okay, so you turned in some tax returns up here. I have your gross at $6,000 a year. And how many children? It's just Alex, right?
It's just one. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other children outside of Alex?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so that brings your net down to $4,789.79 for one child. And then you do have to reimburse her health insurance because she's
Absolutely.
been paying it. You're okay with that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you don't really have a choice, so, okay. Plus the 111 comes out to $1,069 a month.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am, it's Judge.
Okay, why do you have this smirk on your face?
Oh, I like those numbers. Judge Rhonda. Judge Rhonda.
Sad. She's not going to have to come back in here and say, you know, she's not letting me see my child or anything like that, is she?
So when she sees the child, do I have to be around?
That's a no, because you're not going to do that, right? You're going to let her see the child?
Do I
Yes.
have to be around her?
Miss Tally steps forward, making her stance clear. She's not just here to write a check. She wants to be present in Alex's life, not just financially obligated. She accuses Mrs. Armstrong of using money as a tool to control her access to their son. And the frustration in her voice is undeniable. But the judge isn't letting emotions cloud the facts. Firmly, they remind Miss Tally that child support and parenting time are two separate matters. At the same time, Mrs. Armstrong gets a warning. Keeping Miss Tally away from Alex could have serious legal consequences. Miss Tally reassures the court that she's more than willing to contribute financially, but she won't settle for being sidelined as a parent. The tension in the room is thick as both sides wrestle with their differences. Will they find a way to compromise, or is this just the beginning of a deeper battle?
Extent. You don't have to necessarily like each other, but
It has
you
to
do
be
need
able
to
to
let her
benefit the
see.
child.
Huh?
It has to be able to benefit the child. I mean, you have to look at Alex's best interest in his life. He needs both of his moms as life. You can't just deny one.
What's the
I agree
least
with that.
of amount of time that I can let her spend with my child?
You know what? We're not going to go there. You're going to let her see him. And that's the end of it. You have your money, right?
Yes.
Okay then. So do you have any other questions? All right. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
As the case wraps up, the judge takes a moment to break down the key legal takeaways. Here in Texas, child support and parenting time are two separate matters, and blocking a parent from their child can lead to serious legal trouble. But beyond the legalities, the judge drives home a bigger point. Co-parenting isn't about power struggles. It's about what's best for the child. Court orders aren't suggestions, and dodging responsibilities, whether financial or emotional, only hurts the kids in the end. With a firm yet compassionate tone, the judge delivers a final message. Parents must put their children first, no excuses. And for those watching, the call to action is clear. If you know someone in a similar battle, speak up and share their story. After all, these cases aren't just courtroom drama, they shape real children's futures.